Hello, and welcome back to another presentation of Straight Talk about PTSD. This presentation is going to be about the special case of mirror neurons, for better and for worse. Mirror neurons are specialized neurons in the brain which fire when we observe things, when we witness events and people. Mirror neurons also fire when we imitate or otherwise act upon what we've observed. See it, do it, learn it. Mirror neurons allow us to learn not just by direct experience happening to us, but by observing the experiences of others. With mirror neurons, we learn from what others do and from what happens to them when they do it. We get to learn our lessons from their mistakes and tragedies instead of having to make the mistakes ourselves. Their trials do not have to become our errors, and we can still share in their joys and successes through our mirror neurons. Through mirror neurons, what other people do and we witness, it becomes a part of our memories. It becomes a part of us and our maps of life. Mirror neurons also allow us to be more aware of and sensitive to the feelings of others, to experience with them, and to internalize their inner states almost as if they were our own. If the Latin word compassion really means to feel deeply with others, then mirror neurons are essential to our compassion for others and serve as a basis for emotionally connecting with others. I feel you. It's easy to see how critical a role mirror neurons can play in the quality of a person's personal, work, and social lives. If you cannot read others emotionally and connect with their feelings and their emotional point of view, you probably won't be able to play well with others. You'll be too caught up in yourself and too insensitive to them. And yes, it does seem that people with autism may tend to be deficient in mirror neurons. Mirror neurons also allow very young children to experience how others treat them, how others speak to them, what other people do to care for them, or not, etc., and build an internal map of who he or she must be to be the center and recipient of these behaviors, attitudes, statements, and emotional states. In fact, although the term was coined prior to the discovery of mirror neurons, attachment theorists have long used the word mirroring to describe just how the environment, in its treatment of the child, metaphorically holds up a mirror so that the child sees what others see in them and feels what others feel about them. This is how a baby and toddler's earliest and most foundational sense of self appears to be built. Mirror neurons at work. Mirror neurons are also part of how a child internalizes their environment, makes it a part of their map, makes it a part of who they are, and how they see themselves in the world. Now, when a child is growing up in a healthy, loving, stable, and supportive environment, well, they internalize what they observe. Not a bad thing. On the other hand, a dysfunctional environment full of chaos, substance abuse, anger, violence, etc. will also be internalized, will also become a part of the child's map of life, their map of themselves, and their view of others. It is also why the environment is so important to the ultimate character and social health of a child. They internalize what they see, not just what they directly experience. It is why a child may have a relatively secure attachment to one particular family member, but be utterly insecurely attached to the rest of the family and to the larger world. It's why a close attachment to a family member can also ultimately be harmful if that relationship is what is holding them in a dysfunctional environment, which they will internalize. Mirror neurons may also play a role in the perpetuation of family love or family violence patterns from one generation to the next, because we humans know how we should handle particular things, largely because of how we've observed others handling them when we were too young to have any critical thinking skills available to us. We see, we do, and what we learn is strengthened through repetition. Much like we talked about with hyperarousal and hypofrontality, the chronic elevated stress chemistry of post-traumatic hyperarousal appears to impair and can even kill mirror neurons. In the very young, the stress chemistry of hyperarousal may prevent mirror neurons from properly developing and conditioning in the first place. Fewer functioning mirror neurons means less likelihood of learning from observing others. Fewer or impaired mirror neurons means less outside input into a person's developing map and understanding of who they are and what life's all about. Fewer functioning mirror neurons means less capacity to emotionally read, connect with, and experience compassion for other people. Inadequate mirror neuron function may also impair the development of early speech because it's imitative in nature. It'll also impair the development of early social skills and communication, often throughout the lifespan. Although I am personally unaware of any statistical research on the subject, the book of my clinical experience clearly suggests that a successful, long-term therapeutic relationship between a client and a competent, attachment-savvy and trauma-savvy therapist seems to result in an apparent rebound in mirror neuron functioning. That is, being accurately and compassionately attuned to at an emotional and gut level over an extended period of time seems to mobilize mirror neurons and may even be able to rebuild damaged mirror neurons. In any event, a stable, healthy, long-term therapeutic relationship does seem to reliably increase clients' compassion for themselves and others, and to build a healthier sense of self as they internalize the therapist's attitudes and behavior toward them. That is, the more mirroring therapists provide, the more properly conditioned their mirror neurons seem to be. Now, the life-corrupting and therapy-frustrating effects of the hyperarousal which so commonly develops following attachment trauma and other trauma simply adds one more compelling reason to make hyperarousal a primary target of post-traumatic treatment. In our next Straight Talk about PTSD presentation, we're going to explore the development and implications of the optimal self and the post-traumatic self. As always, I hope you found this Straight Talk about PTSD presentation accurate and illuminating. Hope it resonates with you. If you'd like to subscribe, just hit the subscribe button below, and if you'd like to be notified of future Straight Talk about PTSD presentations as they are uploaded, please hit the bell icon as well. Thank you, and I hope to see you the next time.